Welcome back to the R&D podcast. My name is Dalton.
RJ.
Today we're going to be talking about Auburn versus Georgia. Home game for Auburn. Got them 6:30 at night. This is kind of what you want if you're an Auburn fan. You feel like there's a lot of stuff in the air. You feel like there's a lot of things that could go against Georgia in this game by the fact that Hugh Freeze possibly coaching for his job. He said earlier this week in an interview that he wasn't, but we all know that it could be a potential thing. Cam Newton's retirement of his jersey. That's going to be a thing. The crowd's going to be pumped for that. But 95% of the money is on Georgia. RJ, do you think that's the right call? And what do you see happening in the first half of this game?
Well, if Hugh Freeze don't run the ball, I believe that is the right call. Do I believe Auburn can go and win this Georgia game? No doubt. I feel like Auburn can win by dominate Georgia or any team in college football. But with how our offense is doing right now, and then our play calling is the main thing about this offense right now. Hugh Freeze is not opening up the pass with the run game at all. He's just trying to pass with a quarterback that has an average arm that he got in there and trying to load the pressure on him by passing, but he can't pass. You should have known that by now. After seeing him last year. So run the ball more, open up the pass game, and hopefully things go right from there.
So what you've seen from Auburn's offensive line, a lot of penalties, a lot of sacks. Do you think that changes this game considering Georgia's defensive line has 0 sacks in this season? Without their linebackers, of course. But do you see that changing in this game? Do you think Georgia's going to be able to get pressure on this Auburn offensive line?
If Auburn's offensive line goes out and plays like they did against Oklahoma or Texas A&M, yes, I do believe that. But also, I feel like that offensive line has something to prove. So I feel like they'll do a lot better, especially with penalties with not having the crowd yell at you the whole time.
Yeah.
But hopefully, I feel like they'll come out with some anger and get some push going on that line.
Yeah. We'll go around to Georgia's offensive side, and you got Auburn's defense. DJ Durkin, he calls a great game plan over there. They're always going to be good while he's there. I have a feeling that Mike Bubba's got to avoid third and long because this Auburn defense is so good at setting pressures. DJ Durkin draws up nice third down blitzes. It's going to be hard. You got to get into those 3rd and 2s, those third and 3s, and let Nate Frazier and let your guys in the backfield be able to do what they want to do. You had in the Bama game, you had Chancey Bowens. He broke out that game. He's been really good. Nate Frazier is supposed to be really good. You have the guys in the backfield to make it work. It's about doing it. Gunnar Stockton, man, sneaky athletic. He can be a factor in the run game for Georgia as well. And then you have some playmakers on the outside that you haven't had in a couple of years if you're Georgia. And the fact of Zachariah Branch, he's really good with the ball in his hands. And, Colby Young, he's been really good. He had that one drop against Bama. But other than that, he's been pretty lights out this season. So moving into this game, Auburn's defense, you know what you're going to see from them. You know DJ Durkin's going to call aggressive, and you know Mike Bobo is a little bit more on the passive side. He kind of does what you think. He doesn't really throw any trickery around at you. It's kind of just a straight bland offense. This is what we're going to do. He tells it. Do you think that Auburn will be able to come out with a larger turnover margin than Georgia? Do you think they'll have more turnovers at the end of the game than Georgia will, as far as like takeaways, not actually turning the ball over?
I feel like Gunnar Stockton will throw a pick, and then or maybe he'll fumble, or maybe when the running backs fumble. I feel like Auburn's defense will get some turnovers. I feel like Auburn's defense can contain Gunnar Stockton and contain that whole offense because I believe in our defense. I feel like we have the best defense in the SEC, but it doesn't help out when your offense isn't scoring and only averaging 173 yards a game. Well, just the Texas A&M game, but still that's sad. That's sad to have so much skill on your offense and only have 170 yards in offense against Texas A&M. That is just criminal.
Well, no discredit to Texas A&M's defense. They're a really good unit, but Auburn Auburn's looked poor on offense. Do you think that Hugh Freeze going in this game knows that his job may be at stake? Do you think that's a factor in this game for him, or do you think, like he said, it's just kind of a push off? I'm just here to play football.
It is a factor, I believe. Do I believe he'll get fired over a loss against Georgia? No, but if he doesn't do anything on offense again, like the last 2 games that's been going, because the play calling just sucks. I feel like he'll be fired. Like if we come out and have another 170-yard total offense game, I believe he'll get fired. But if we go out there compete and progress on offense, I don't think he'll get fired after that.
You have Missouri and Arkansas and Kentucky on the back end of this. You have Missouri at home, and then you have Arkansas away, I want to say it is, and then Kentucky at home again. So you kind of have Missouri looks to be a good team. We'll see a little bit more after this Bama game this weekend if they're really the real deal. Arkansas, Kentucky, probably two of the least worst teams in the SEC at the current moment. And then you have Vanderbilt at Vanderbilt, which could be a really good game. So coming down to the score predictions of this game, RJ, what are you thinking? Or would you like since you're the Auburn fan, do you want me to give my score prediction first, and we'll save yours for last?
Yeah, you can go ahead and give your score prediction first.
I think going into this game, right, Hugh Freeze, there's a little bit of tension. You got to make something happen. You look back at a couple years back, Auburn's been able to stay in these games based off of turnovers. You had last year's game? They stayed in the game because they had 2 turnovers. I think that's going to be a huge key in this game. If Auburn can force turnovers and give the ball to their offense in a short, yardage, get them in a good position to go out and score. Because I don't believe in Auburn's offensive ability to drive the ball down the field, especially with a lack of a run game. And your front seven for Georgia is good. They're really good at stopping the run. They're number 3 ranked? I correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're the number 3 ranked defense in the country, run stop wise. So, with all that being said, it's going to be a tough game for Auburn. A lot of stuff's going to have to fall in their way. They do have the home field advantage, and don't get me wrong, Jordan Hare is amazing, and the fans will be jumping. But I just don't see a world where Hugh Freeze is able to coach this Auburn team to beat Georgia in this game. It's going to be close. I don't doubt that at all. But you come down to the end of it, Kirby Smart's still one of the greatest coaches in college football. Whenever he retires, he'll probably be marked as one of the greatest coaches in college football. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. And Hugh Freeze is still struggling to find the pieces and put them together at Auburn. And you have everybody that you think you need at least, to have a good team. You have a lot of talent, but he just hasn't been able to do it. And I think that continues this week. I think you see a little bit more of a struggle game for Jackson Arnold, especially towards the end, due to the fact that he's going to have to throw the ball so much because the run game's not going to be there, and you're just going to see replays of what's been happening throughout the season.
Yeah, I agree and don't agree with you there. I feel like nothing's on Jackson Arnold, or I don't think nothing's on Jackson Arnold here. I mean, I want to see in this game, I want to see Jackson Arnold throw 17 passes again, and we have 52 plus rush carries. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's never going to happen with Hugh Freeze calling plays with 3 offensive coordinators calling plays. I don't think that's never going to happen.
Can I ask you this? I don't think that if you run the ball 52 times in this game, like you did against Baylor, that you have the same result. This Georgia defense is a lot different than Baylor's defense.
Yeah, but rushing 34 times each. I think we've rushed for like 25 times against Texas A&M, then I think 33 times against Oklahoma. That's still sad. You can have at least 10 or even 5 more carries that can break out to be big runs, but we will never know because you don't run the ball. If you stop the run, okay, but there's going to be a run where Jeremiah Cobb or Damarius Austin breaks out for 40-plus yards. I don't care what you say, but there's going to be at least 2 or 3 runs like that a game if you run the ball. Mm-hmm. And Hugh Freeze says he's going to put the running backs, give the running backs more carries this game, but we'll see. I don't believe it. I'm gonna go Georgia 20-13. Auburn kicks 2 field goals and Auburn's defense scores.
I don't think I gave my score prediction. I'm gonna take Georgia. What did you just take them?
2013, Georgia.
2013. I actually like that score line a lot. I think I'm gonna take Georgia 24 to 17. I think that Auburn's gonna be able to keep it close because they do have the home field. I think their defense is gonna make a bunch of plays, but at the end of the day, I think Georgia's gonna take a lead midway the second quarter and probably just kind of ride it out from there. Auburn's gonna be able to tie it, but just never be able to go ahead. And this is kind of a hinge game for Auburn. This is one of those ones where, okay, you've lost 2 on the road. You come back to Jordan-Hare. You have a chance to go out and beat the number 10 ranked team in the nation who's only lost to Bama. If you do this, your whole season's flipped on its head. The talk goes from, oh man, Hugh Freeze is going to get fired. We're in a barn burn. Like everything's just falling apart. To, oh man, we're back on track. Like if we can keep winning, we're going to be there. You have, Missouri, Arkansas, Kentucky, 3 winnable games, and then you go play Vanderbilt. Missouri and Vanderbilt are probably your 2 hardest games besides Bama left on your schedule. So there's a lot of ability to be able to win out for Auburn if you get through Georgia and then win out all the way to Bama. Vanderbilt's going to be a tough one, but we'll talk about that when we get there, and we'll see how this Missouri team looks this weekend. But with all that being said, this is going to be an interesting game. A lot of games are going to be interesting when they're played in Jordan-Hare. Student section, the crowd's going to be in it. That's no doubt about it. I would love to see what the Auburn rushing stats are at the end of the night. I think that's going to be really interesting. I think that's going to be a headline on the game. I think it's going to be a headline for the fan base. But other than that, I don't have a whole lot else to say. RJ, what are you thinking?
When I say more runs, I mean like you don't have to just run up the middle the whole time and try to get yards. I want to see more outside runs, more jet sweeps. Also, want to see more screens for Eric Singleton. We haven't been utilizing Eric Singleton enough. I feel like for these past 2 games we lost, we haven't used them a lot at all, and we need to start using them more off of jet sweeps and screens, and then running back screens, of course. And I believe Auburn can win this game, but I don't believe in Hugh Freeze play calling. Now I have to go with Georgia this game, get my money's worth.
Understandable, but
if I don't get my money, I'll be happy because Auburn won. So.
Either way, it's a win. It's a win-win for you. Not a huge win if Georgia wins, but with that being said, I don't think we have a whole lot more to talk about today. As far as this game, catch us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and we got some more videos being uploaded this week on several other games. Be sure to check those out. Anyways, this has been the RD podcast. My name's Dalton.
RJ.
We'll catch you next.